सुतं शोकविनाशकारकम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पारपङ्कजम्। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वतीरूपेण संस्कृतं नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। नागेन्द्रहारं त्रिलोचनाय भस्माङ्गरागाय महेश्वराय नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगम्बराय तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय। ॐ अञ्जनीगर्भासन्मुखो वायुपुत्रो महाबो कुमारो ब्रह्मचारी च हनुमान मे प्रसिद्ध मे। ॐ भूर्भुवस्व तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। प्रेम से बोलो श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। गणपति नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरया। ओम गम गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा ki jai. So devotees and friends, Sitaram to all again. And today we welcome the newest and the youngest member of our now moving, and she sleep away already too. So just now she will sing too when she get out of her sleep. Prem se bole Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So devotees and friends, last evening we had discourse done by Pandit Jai, and this evening I am going to try my best to bring to you a very wonderful discourse into the little time, because we all know that we are in the moment of the pandemic and we need to observe the timing and everything else. So if within the week you all, because we are having reading again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday we will be having offering until 1 o'clock. Friday we will be having offering until 1 o'clock. And then Saturday morning will be our Visarjan. On Thursday evening, we'll all be in Felicity to continue with their Ganesh Utsav celebration. Friday we'll be in Felicity, and Saturday evening we'll be in Felicity. Sunday morning we'll be in Felicity to do their Visarjan. And my dear friends, Felicity, those members of that Ganesh Utsav committee, I have been with them since day one, and I can't abandon them, so I have to go and give them, at least 3 days, which is due to them. And I will, because down there we have quite a lot of bhaktas too. Prem se bole Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. Let us all pray as we prepare for our discourse this evening. Gajananam bhutaganaadisevitam kapeta jambho palisar bhakshanam Umasutam shoka vinashikarkam Namami Viganeshwar parapankajam Ya Devi sarvabhuteshu Saraswati rupena sanskritam Namastasye 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 namo namah. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Dhanti Prachodayam. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakam Lambodharascha Vikto Viganasham Ganadipati Namaham. Om Dhumraketu Ganayaksho Balachandro Gajyanaham Dvadeshikani Namami Yatsrinudayapim Vidyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgame Tatham Sangrame Sankate Che Eva Vignam Tasya Na Jaitim. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karavabahem Tejasvina Varhitamastu Ma Vidvishabahem. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Jai Jai Ganapati Jai Ganapati जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति बोल जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान जय श्री गणेश भगवान। जब राजा ने पूछ की देवरान वहाँ व्रत किसा प्रकार किया जात है। जय श्री गणेश जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। तो उन्होंने बात यहाँ की राजन मैं तुम्हारे इसका भी एक इतिहास सुनाता हूँ। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। पूर्वा काल में कृत देवयान नाम का एक राजा हुआ था। उसकी पाल पलती सुगंधा अति रूपावती और सधावेते उससे राजा के कोई संतन नहीं हुई। जय जय गोविंदा जय गणपति भगवान जय श्री गणेश भगवान। राजा ते अनेकाम पुत्थे इष्टे यत्याम कीले की नाम सभी निष्काम। जय जय गणेश जय श्री गणेश जय श्री गणेश भगवान। अमत्यानां परम रशादिया की महाराज अब तो निरस्त पूर्वक तपस्य चार्या की जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। बोल जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय। गणेश भगवान की। So my dear friends, our katha commence this evening. जब राजा ने पूछ की देवराज वहां व्रत किसी प्रकार किया जाता है। Devotees and friends, it tells to us this evening, this wonderful katha is telling to us that dedicated to Bhagwan Shiva, it says that those devotees who are peerless and spiritually dedicated to Bhagwan Shiva on the banks of this world, says there were few renowned on the Karvedi river. This river is on the slope of the Chaya mountain. This town, it says, was a very prosperous town. And it was prosperous, my dear friends, because of a righteous king. This king, my dear friends, did everything well. He served his people right. He was very fair to his people. He was never unjust. He ensured that justice took place. My dear friends, This king, whose name is Kritaviri, had a very attractive wife by the name of Suganta. And so, my dear friends, Kritavir and Suganta had no children. And he was very worried, my dear friends, because there will be no one to take the throne. There will be no heir to the throne. So he was very, very worried. Today, my dear friends, a lot of us as parents who are in our 60s already, we are afraid to think about succession planning. But devotees and friends, all our scriptures, all our Puranas, all the Itihas that is being given to us have shown to us that there must be a successor. So Amrit, are you ready to succeed my position, son? Very good. If I asked Amrit that 2 years ago, he said, "No, Baba, I had to think about it." Devotees and friends, our scriptures teach us of succession planning. Raja Dasrath, you all remember Raja Dasrath? Raja Dasrath was so much that he went all out to have successors for his kingdom of Ayodhya. So, devotees and friends, the first lesson coming out of this evening's message is that we must look for someone to succeed our position. But the fearful thing about that in this Kali age is known as ahamkar. That ahamkar, my dear friends, sometimes, Ash, we give our children a certain amount of leeway. You give them, my dear friends, a little option, a little opening. And then they want to take advantage of you now, who have given them the range to lead. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Well, devotees and friends, I'm telling to you this evening, if you have not done it yet, start giving your children respect. Start being responsible to your children so that they will be able to manage that responsibility and return that respect to you. Respect, my dear friends, and responsibility is something which cannot be bought over a counter. Respect and responsibility, the installation of that into our children, who should be our successors, will not come, my dear friends, if you do not perform the same. Remember, you cannot take a belt and belt the child and tell the child that you have to respect me. The child will never respect you. You have to be able to give that child respect. And you might say, but Pandit, let us take advantage of it. That's the line I will hear regularly. Pandit, let us take advantage of it. So what I does, I allow them to take advantage of it. And when they get the little pinch, what happened? Daddy, you know you was correct. So my dear friends, when you give the children the little leeway, sometimes you have to let them let their finger burn in the fire. I remember pretty well, because my wife is not a working person, so she was at home. So I would have to take the children to school. And when Kandika had now started preschool into San Fernando, Kandika always pushed her head out by the door. And I keep telling her again and again and again, I said, child, move your head. But she wouldn't listen. And one day we're going down the road, and willfully, I mashed the brakes a little sudden and let her head hit the edge of the door. And that was the last day Kandika's head went out the door. So you have to be very, 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 delicate. You have to deal with the children very delicate. And you will get them there. Some will take a little bit longer than some, but you will get them there. Don't ever give up on your children, my dear friends. Your parents did not give up on you, so you do not give up on your children. Never ever. So my dear friends, watch it here. The king and the queen, Kritavir and Sugantha. Let me get the people name correct, eh? Sugantha, my dear friends, had no children. And what they decided to do? He decided, my dear friends, to do some tapas, to do some penance, to get a child. Devotees and friends, I remember two young people, godson of mine, and he married a Christian girl, but they were not having children. And I told him, I said, son, you have to do 1 year of devotion. You have to do 1 year of devotion to Lord Krishna, which they did. And after a while, a girl child was born to them. Up to this day, they do not miss their Krishna Puja every year. Not Gopiya, eh? Krishna Puja every year is being done. So devotees and friends, the king here have done the same thing, but he did it a little bit different. He left the whole kingdom. He and his wife left the kingdom and they went into the forest and they started to pray. And my dear friends, the great saints and sages became very worried. Let us listen as the katha continues. In Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Bol.
Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati,
Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Jai Sri Ganesh, Jai Jai Bhagavan. Raja ko param risham uchitam pratita huam उसने अमत योगों रजिया की रक्षा का भार सौंपा और स्वयं पलथी सहित बान में चला गया। इस प्रकार वे दंपति घोर तपस्या करने लगे। एक दिन नारद जी प्रीतिलोकम गए तो वहां उनकी बेटा कृतभीरया के पितारों से हुई। उनके कुशाल से में पूछने पर नारद जी ने कहा कि कृतवीरया को जब तंघाम स्वर्गाम की प्राप्ति करने वाली पुत्रा के प्राप्ति नहीं होगी, तब तब वहां पलते सहित कठिन तपां करता रहेगा। और यदि पुत्रा की प्राप्ति नाम हुई तो वहां इस प्रकार आपने प्राण दे देगम। जय जय श्री गणेश भगवान। ओम जय श्री गणेश, जय श्री गणेश, जय श्री गणेश भगवान। बोल जय जय गणपति,
जय गणपति, जय गणेश,
हरि बोल।
जय
जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश। और करा
गणपति,
जय जय गणपति, जय गणपति, जय गणेश, जय
गणपति।
Ganesh Bhagwan ki. So in the forest, my dear friends, Raja and Rani have given up the title and they went into tapas, they went into penance. So my dear friends, when you want to get maximum out of your devotion, you have to give up title. The Lord doesn't want to know about Pandit. He doesn't want to know Prime Minister. He doesn't want to know lawyer. He doesn't want to know doctor. No. What he wants to know is about love. What and how your love is in your heart for him and his creation. Prem se bole Shri Gurudev Bhagavan ki Jai. So devotees and friends, Raja and Rani gave up their title of king and queen. So my dear friends, this village was without the king and the queen because they were into the forest and they were totally absorbed in their devotion. I want to recall to you how, my dear friends, these devotions are very intense. Remember, I'm taking you back a little bit. Remember when Hanumanji was going into Lanka to locate Sita. After, my dear friends, when Sampati told to them that Sita is into Lanka, as a vulture his eyes are far and he can recognize it. Devotees and friends, what he told to all the monkeys and the bears on the seashore, he said, I want all of you remain here, right here. And what should be your food? What should be your food? Your food should be kanda, mula, pul, fruit, roots and bulbs. That should be your food. Why he wanted them to have that, my dear friends? They were searching to recover the mind seater. And for us to recover our minds, because most of us, our minds are taken away by the ego, that ahamkar. I am Pandit Vishnu, you know. I am Pandit Vishnu. Devotees and friends, when Yamraj should knock on my door, which will be next 20-25 years, where Pandit Vishnu is, where Pandit Vishnu will be. My dear friends, it is the love which you have for God is what is going to go with you. Enjoy what the Lord have given to you today because of your karma. But you have earned it, do not own it. Prem se bole Shri Ganesh Bhagwan ki. So my dear friends, the king, what they did, I brought you back to when Hanuman told them to live on Kandamulapal. This Raja and Rani, my dear friends, they took their tapas a little further. And they lived only on water and dry leaves, not green leaf. Dry leaves. The most benefit dry leaves may have for you, my dear friends, is to cover an empty space in the stomach to avoid you from getting what you call gas and wind and all them kind of thing. But the water, my dear friends, I don't know how many of you have done a water fast for a few days. Few years back, not too much years back, I would have done it for 5 days and 6 days in the Navratri. And I want to tell to you, once you drink that God-sent pure water, my dear friends, not the Coke, we just want the Coke, on that day the Coca-Cola and all of those kind of things. No, once you drink pure water, my dear friends, your whole system is being filled, energized, and there is no space for any gas. So it's the same thing here. I'm telling to you, don't believe that this is something far-fetched. Devotees have done it, and they have done it right here in Trinidad. So my dear friends, it says Raja and Rani lived only on water and dry leaves, and they were engaged into very intense penance. Narad Muni came to understand that, and he could not bear to see that a kingdom is without the king. So what he did, my dear friends, Narad Muni left this abode, the Mrityu Lok here, and he went up to the Pitri Lok. He went up into the Pitri Lok. And so, my dear friends, he met with that Jagat Pitri, the great Pitta, and he started to speak to him. And so, my dear friends, he told to him, he said, listen, he said, down there on earth, your son, remember that Mahapit is Bhagwan Krishna, He said that in the Bhagavad Gita. So he went up, Narad went and he had direct communication, and he said, your son Kritavir and his wife Sugandha, they have left the kingdom because they had no children. And it is very, very, they would not go back until they get a child. They will not, they rather give up that body there than to get, if they don't get a child, they won't stop their penance. And so, devotees and friends, He says, and this is now Narad Muni speaking to the Pit, that is the chief of the Pitris. If you do not understand the Katha too much, you will feel like he going and talking to his father. No, the Pit, because he knows everything. Lord Krishna knows everything. So he is telling to him, he said, then this royal lineage of yours will perish without a successor. Hence, in order that your son will obtain the good fortune of begetting a child, do that appropriate step. So saying, he left. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Let us listen as this katha continues. The Pitri now went, my dear friends, to Brahmadev. Let us listen. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati, Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati. One more time. Jai Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganapati, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganapati. पूछने पूछ हे देविंद्रम, आपने भुसुंधा के पितारों की मुक्ति होने का वृतंता हो कहाँ, किंतु पृथ्वीर आकाम विषाया में नहीं भातया की उसके पितारों ने। नारद की को कथा उतर दिया। जय जय श्री गोविंद गणेश भगवान। देवराज बोले के नरेंद्र, वहाँ भी सुनो उन राजा के। पिता ने नारद जी से तो यहाँ कहा कि उनका उपया करेंगे, और फिर वहाँ टूटा ही ब्रह्मा जी के पास गया और उन्हें प्राणमा कहा निवेदन किया भी ब्रह्म। भेरा पुत्रा तो बढ़ा धर्मी का और ईश्वर भक्ति है। जय जय श्री गणेश, जय जय भगवान। उसको पुत्र की प्राप्ति क्यों नहीं हुई, यहाँ सुनाकर ब्रह्मा जी बोले कि तुम्हारे पुत्रा ने पूर्वा जन्मा में ब्रह्मात्मया की थी। वहाँ नंदूर नामक नारद में निवास करता था। उसने धन के लोभ में बरहा वेधा गया ब्राह्मणों को। जय जय श्री गणेश, जय भगवान। जय श्री गणेश, जय भगवान। मार धन ढालता और उनका धन लेकर उपते घर आ गए। ताम उस दिन मघा कृष्ण चतुर्थी थी। जब वहां घर गया तब चंद्रोदया हो चूकता उसने आपने समझता। परिजानों के साथ भेंटार कर आपने पुत्रा गणेश को पुकार जब वहां आ गया तब सभी ने भोजन किया। जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान, जय श्री गणेश जय जय भगवान। बोल।
जय जय
गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय 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 गणपति जय गणपति जय गणेश जय गणपति जय जय।
So the Pita Pitri felt very sad. His mind, well, there's no mind there. But he felt, my dear friends, that he should do something. And what he did, he left, my dear friends, the Pitri Lok, and he went now to Brahma Lok. And he was speaking now to Brahmaji. And he says, Brahma, my son down here on Mrityu Lok is not having any children, and I want to know why. What must he do to have children? And so, my dear friends, Lord Brahma replied to Pitridev, and he says, your son Kritavir, in his last birth, Purva Janma, says in his last birth, had been born in the same place with the name of Samba. So Brahma is telling now of the last life of Kritavira. So he says in the last life his name was Samba. And there he was born in the royal family. Due to fateful circumstances, he was now in a state of poverty and he suffered. Samba had a son by the name of Ganesha. Both of them underwent, a lot of difficulties and troubles. They reached, my dear friends, to the point of starvation. Prem se bole Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki. It says one day, nothing to eat, unable to bear the pangs of the hunger, Samba took to the stealing of pedestrians. So when people were passing at the track to go from one point to another, it's not like today when you have motor cars and so on. So my dear friends, he used to rob them. He used to steal from them. And one day, my dear friends, 12 Brahmins passed by. And those 12 Brahmins what do you think they did, Munish? He was starving, he was hungry, his son home could hardly have any strength. So he left his son home. What do you think happened to those Brahmins, or what did they told to this Samba? My dear friends, Samba wanted to hear nothing from them, so he killed all 12 of them and take what they had and he gone. When Samba reached home, knocking on the door, nobody could open the door. The son was very weak, and that's why he could not open the door. So Samba went to the other side of the house and he climbed over. And when he reached in, he saw his son Ganesha died. He lied down right there too, my dear friends, and he died. So now Brahma is telling to Pitridev, he says, go back now. Because Kritavir have done this in his last life and have not paid this debt, this karmic debt. He have to pay this karmic debt. And how is he to pay back this karmic debt? This karmic debt is to be paid back by performing, my dear friends, that Sankat Chaturthi Vrat. It says here, he should recite that one letter mantra. What is the one letter mantra? Om. He should also recite the 6-letter mantra. Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. On the day he should consecrate an icon of Lord Ganesha. At the time of the rising of the moon. So he's telling him now how to do the puja. On the rising of the moon, in that Chaturthi, meaning this period over that we are into in this mass, in this month, you install the murti. And if this vrat is being observed for 1 year, he said children will come and the devotee will become the recipient of all good fortunes. The book is saying that this evening, my dear friends. The book is saying that this evening. But my dear friends, I want to tell to you who have not done this vrat yet. This is way back in the writing and presentation of this Ganesh Puran. But my dear friends, we have devotees who have performed the Sankat Vrat of Ganesha. And they have not done it for 1 year only, but they are for many years. But even those who have performed it for 1 year can attest to these lines of the Ganesh Puran, not to what Pandit is saying. They can attest to these lines of the Ganesh Puran and know that good fortune have come to them. Some have even got children. Prem se bole Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki. And I will end this katha here this evening because there is so much more in the same katha, and I will take it up from tomorrow. And we will get a little deeper into the devotion. Prem se bole Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki. But I want you to understand that even our karmas, which we accumulate in our last life, can be, become neutralized by this devotion of the Sankat Chaturthi Vrat, which will be for 1 year in the first instance. When you see the sweetness of it, you will want to go another year, and you will want to go another year, and you will want to go another year until you will never want to stop it. So my dear friends, Omar will sing us a bhajan and then we will have our puja and then we'll conclude for this evening because time have run on us so fast. And the katha is so sweet that we have so much still yet to do. And the better side of the katha is coming tomorrow, so I'll make sure and come out. those who are listening us on www.dharamkiawaj.com, and those who are watching us on Pandit Vishnu Live on Facebook. And sometime within tomorrow, it will be downloaded to YouTube, so you will have this katha still for you to review at any given time you feel to listen to it again. Omar will sing for us.
गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। शंकर बोले बाबा को, शंकर बोले बाबा को, डमरू बजाने वाले को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। शंकर भोले बाबा को, शंकर भोले बाबा को, डमरू बजाने वाले को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजनी के पुत्र को, अंजनी के पुत्र को, राम जी के पुत्र को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजनी के पुत्र को, अंजनी के पुत्र को, राम जी के दूत को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सियापति राम को, सियापति राम को, राधा जी के श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सियापति राम को, सियापति राम को, राधा जी की श्याम को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। हरे रामा, हरे रामा, राम रामा, हरे हरे।
हरे रामा, हरे रामा, राम रामा, हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा, कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे
Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. So all our devotees who are following online to perform the puja this evening, to Cecilia in Florida, take your water now and sprinkle right around. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatri Sindhi Kuru Hari Om Tat Sat Prem Sabale Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. So now, my dear friends, you take a little sip of your water and so on. Rinse your hands, all of that. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Jalpatri Sindhi Kuru Om Amrito Pastada Namasi Swaha Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha Om Satyam Yashahasri Me Sri Shetam Swaha Hari Om Tat Sat Shan. Rinse your hands again. Shanno Devi Rabhishtaya Apo Bhavanti Pite Sham Yoravishtavantunaha Prem Sabale Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki jai. So, devotees and friends, you take one pan leaf now and flowers in your hand. If you have one already in front of your kalsa, just take flowers in your hands. Let us all pray. Hari Om. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Haring Aing Haring Saraswati Namah. Om Sri Guru Charan Kamlebhyo Namo Namah. Om Swasti Nendro Brihasarva Swasti Pusha Vishvedam Swasti Nastrishorishanimi Swasti No Brihaspati Daratum Om Pai Prataviyang Pai Oshadhai Supayo Devyantarikshe Payo Dhyapayasvati Pradishta Santu Mahayam Om Vishnu Rutangasi Vishnu Snyatre Satyo Vishnu Suryasi Vishnu Dhyaurasi Vishnuvang Asi Vishnu Vitvam Om Agni Devata Vyato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devatam Vyasavo Devata Rudro Devatam Aryo Devata Maruto Devata Vishwe Deva Devata Brihaspati Devatam Om Dev Shanti Antarikshagwam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapo Shanti Oshadhe Shanti Bhanaspati Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Ridhim Om Nana Ratna Samayuktam Kartaswara Vibhushanam Asanang Deva Devasya Pratyart Pratigrihitvam Bhurasi Bhumiyasya Dhiryasya Vishwasya Bhuvamasya Dharti Om Prithvi Myaksha Prithvi Sugam Soy Om Sri Prithvi Mata Ki. Offer your flowers in front of the Kalsa. Hari Om Tat Sat. Prem Sabale Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Now you take water. Offer 5 times inside of your kalsa. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatri Sindhi Kurum Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Jalpatri Sindhi Kurum. Nobody out there, Harat. Take saffron. Offer 1 time inside, 5 places outside. Om Haridra Sarva Varnabha Sarvya Sobhagya Dayani Sarvalankar Mukyami Sri Devi Twang Pratigri Twang. Om Haridra Sarva Varnabha Sarvya Sobhagya Dayani Sarvalankar Mukyami Devi Twang Pratigri Twang. Now take Sindur. Om Sindurang Saubharam Rektam Sobhagya Priyavardhanang Sukadhang Mokshadhang Cheva Sri Sindurang Pratigrihitwang Urit Aruna Sankasham Kusum Sanibhan Imanchal Sri Sindurang Pratigrihitwang. Now you take Chandan and you offer. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilipranam Suresritra Chandanang Pratigrihitwang. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilipranam Suresritra Chandanang Pratigrihitwang. Take a cord, put it around the neck of the kalsa. Om Namabhistam Tubime Yuktam Triguna Devata उपपवित्यं मायधृतान् गृहान् परमेश्वरम्. Om Sri Kalsha Devata Ki Jai. One coin inside. Naka Palwa Supalwa Maulibhi Vandita Grihani Yugla Prabhu Hari. Dakshingana Pari Grihani Madhava. Dakshina Sri Pati Pati. One supari. Om Pungi Palang Mahadevyam Nagraval Ilaya Chunedhi. Sugandhi Sri Tambulang. Tambulang Pratigrihitwang. If you have extra strand of dugras, you put it now inside of your kalsa. Om Kandat Kandat Prayohanti Purusha Purusha Sparing. Evano Sri Durbe Pratigrihitwang. If you have a neem leaf, bay leaf, sorry, put the bay leaf inside of the kalsa. Om Belapatra Adhijay Kumaldhi Subhai Sri Belapatra Pratigrihitwang. If you have a neem leaf, you can put it. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Chama Shive Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namastute. Flowers now. Om, flowers inside of your kalsa, devotees. Om Malikadhi Shugandheni Male Neva Prabhu. Maya Hirtani Pujayartang Pushpani Pratigrihitwang. A little perfume. Om Ghanna Ghanna Grihana Devasyam. Deva Deva Dhayanidhi. Tvam Eva Jagatang Natas. Tvam Eva Jagatang Prabhu. Take your mango stem now with the 5 leaves and turn the water inside of the kalsa. Om Varunasya Oshadham Bhayam Asivaha Ashtatevo Nishadham Purnovo. Om Sri Kalsha Devata Ki Jai. Now everybody please take your coconut in your hands. Pray now to Sri Ganesh Ji. Om Samukascha Ekadantascha Kapilogaj Karnakam Lambodarascha Victo Viganasho Ganadipati Namaha. Om Dhumraketu Ganayaksho Bala Chandrogajyanaham Dwadeshatani Namami Yatsrinu Deyapim Vidyarambe Vivahe Cha Pravishe Nirgamitatham Sangrami Sankati Che Eva Viganamatasya Na Jayatim. Om Sri Ganesha Bhagwan Ki. Place it on top the kalsa now. Nana Ratna Samayuktang Kartiswara Vibhushanam Asanang Deva Devasyam Pratyarti Pratigrihitwang. Light your day on the parai. Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murte Sada Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Sri Mahalakshmi Mata Ki. Decorate around your parai little flowers. Om Malikadhi Shugandheni Male Neva Prabhu. Maya Hirtani Pujayartan Sri Pushpani Pratigrihitwang. Prem Sabale Sri Kalsha Devata Ki Jai. Mahalakshmi Mata Ki Jai. Take 1 flowers into your hands now with a pan leaf. If you have extra pan leaf in front of Gauri Mata, put one. That if you have a Ganesh Murti, put the flowers in front of the Murti. Om Nana Ratna Samayuktang Kartaswara Vibhushanam Asanang Deva Devasya Pratyarti Pratigrihitwang. Ganesha Bhagwan Ki Jai. We now pray to Gauri Mata, and we ask of Gauri Mata to take her seat now into our puja. Om Om Sarva Mangale Mangale Shive Sarvayarti Shadikim Sharanaye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namastute. Gauri Narayani Namastute. Gauri Narayani Namastute. Nana Ratna Samayuktang Kartiswara Vibhushanam Asanang Deva Devasyam Pratyarta Pratigrihitwang. Om Sri Gauri Mata Ki Jai. Offer it on your bedi. Take another pan leaf, flowers, as you pray now to the Navgraha Devatas, and you ask of them to keep you away from all accidents, calamities, disasters, troubles, difficult moments. Hari Om Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanushasi Bhumishtum बुधश्च गुरुश्च शुक्रशनि राहुकेतु सर्वो ग्रहा शान्ति भवन्तु। ॐ नानारत्ना समायुक्तं कर्तिस्वार विभूषणं आसनं देवदेवस्य प्रत्यर्थ प्रतिगृहीत्वं नवग्रहा देवता की jai. Offer it there. Now we take flowers and palm leaf again with a bay leaf as we pray now to Lord Shiva. Let us all pray. Ask of Lord Shiva for that absolute knowledge. Om Nagendrahara Trilochanayam Bhashmangragaya Maheshwarayam Nityaya Shudaya Digambarayam Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivayam Om Nanaratna Samayuktam Kartaswara Vibhushanam Asanam Devadevasyam Pratyarti Pratigrihitvam. Prem se bole Sri Shiva Bhagwan ki jai. Take one pan leaf and flowers into your hands now as you pray to Lakshmi Mata, and tell Lakshmi Mata to grace and grant unto you all that is necessary so that you can food, clothe, shelter yourself, that you can enjoy what the world have given to you to enjoy through your karma. And may you always remember the laws, which all these things are to be enjoyed by, we pray. Hari Om Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampadam Mama Satru Vinashayam Depa Jyotir Namastute. Om Sarva Jaye Sarva Varde Sarva Dushta Bhayam Karim Sarva Dukhari Devi Sri Mahalakshmi Namastute. Om Sri Mahalakshmi Mata ki jai. In front of your parai. Nana Ratna Samayuktam Kartiswara Vibhushanam Asanam Deva Devasyam Pratyarth Pratigrihitvam. Om Sri Mahalakshmi Mata ki. One pan leaf and flowers again as you now make invocation to the Guru. That divine Guru is so important into our lives. The Guru, my dear friends, is not just only the spiritual teacher, but all those who you will have to consult to get what you have to get done. Hari Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Nana Ratna Samayuktam Kartiswara Vibhushanam Asanam Deva Devasyam Pratyarthi Pratigrihitvam. Prem se bole Sri Guru Devata ki jai. Offer it on your bedi. Now take your raksha, turn it in a circle, put it on top of your coconut. Om Namabhistam Tubime Yuktam Triguna Devata Upapavityam Maya Dritani Grihan Parameshwara Yagyopavityam Pratigrihitvam. Put one over the Murti. Om Namo Narayanaye Namo Namaham Sri Keshavaye Namo Namaham. Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki jai. Durga Devi Mata ki jai. Now take flowers, water, 3 times on top of your coconut and then one time on the other places. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Guravare Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatre Sindhi Kurum. Om Gange Che Yamuna Che Guravare Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatre Sindhi Kurum. Gange Che Yamuna Che Godavari Saraswati Tani Sarvati Tani Sri Jalpatri Sindhi Kurum. Now you take saffron, ask of the Lord for good relationship with Him and all who you have interaction with, and offer little bit right through 3 times on top the coconut though. Hari Om Haridra Sarva Varnabha Sarvya Sobhagya Dhayani Sarvalankar Mukyami Devi Twang Pratigrihitwang. Om Haridra Sarva Varnabha Sarvya Sobhagya Dayani Sarvalankar Mukyami Sridevi Twang Pratigrihitvam. Om Haridra Sarva Bharnabha Sarvya Sobhagya Sarvalankar Mukyami Devi Twang Sri Devi Twang Pratigrihi Twang Sindur now as you ask for material happiness and spiritual growth. Om three times on the coconut. Sindurang Saubharam Rektam Saubhagya Priyavardhanang Sukadhang Mokshadhang Cheva Sindhurang Sri Sindhurang Pratigrihitwang Urit Aruna Sankasham Kusum Sanibhan Imanchal Sri Sindurang Sindurang Pratigrihitwang. Now you take Chandan, my dear friends. Oh, Onala still going. Sindurang Sauvaram Rektam Sobhagya Priya Vardhanang Sukadhang Mokshadhang Cheva Sindurang Pratigrihitwang. Now we go in with Chandan. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilepranam Suresritram Chandanang Pratigrihitvam. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilepranam Suresritram Chandanang Pratigrihitvam. Om Sri Kanda Chandanang Divyam Gandharyam Sumanoharam Vilepranam Suresritram Chandanang Pratigrihitvam. Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. If you have extra doob grass, you offer one strong right through. Om Kandat Kandat Prayohanti Purusha Purusha Sparim Evano Sri Durbe Pratigrihitvam. Om Kandat Kandat Prayohanti Purusha Purusha Sparim Evano Sri Durbe Pratigrihitvam. Om Kandat Kandat Prayohanti Purusha Purusha Sparim Evano Sri Durbe Pratigrihitvam. Prem se bole Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai. So if you have extra bay leaf now, you offer one right through. Om Bela Patra Adhi Jai Kumal Dhi Subhai. Om Sri Bela Patra Pratigrihitvam. Om Bela Patra Pratigrihitvam. Om Payodadhi Gritang Chaiva Sri Bela Patra Pratigrihitvam. Om Namah Shivaya. Prem se bole Sri Shiva Bhagwan ki Jai. Bela Patra Pratigrihitvam ki Jai. Now take flowers and you offer right through. Om Malikadhi Shugandhini Maleneva Prabhu Maya Hirtani Pujayartan Sri Pushpani Pratigrihitvam. Om Malikadhi Shugandhini Maleneva Prabhu Maya Hirtani Pujayartan Sri Pushpani Pratigrihitvam. Om Malikadhi Shugandhini Maleneva Prabhu Maya Hirtani Pujayartan Sri Pushpani Pratigrihitvam. Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Arti now. No perfume, sorry. Om Ghanna Ghanna Grihan Devasyam Deva Deva Dhayanidhi Tvam Eva Jagatang Natas Tvam Eva Jagatang Prabhum. Hari Om Tat Sat. Now you take your parai and you do arti. Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janmayarta Kritani Chay Tani Tani Vinashayanti Sri Pradakshina Pade Pade. Om Yani Kani Chapapani Janmayarta Kritani Chay Tani Tani Vinashayanti Sri Pradakshina Pade Pade. Prem se bole Sri Ganesh Bhagwan ki Jai. Take your doobras now in your hands. Pray now. Okay, so you'll go up there and we'll do it on the main murti. So my dear friends, you at home will do it as you regularly do it on the monthly. But because you have not come to the mandir, so The devotees who are here will offer it at the Ganesh Murti, which we have installed for this Ganesh Utsav. So you pray now. So you at home will do it on your murti by your coconut there as you accustomed doing. If you have a dirt murti at home, you put it at the feet of the dirt murti too. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Kandat Kandat Prayohanti Purusha Purusha Spari Eva no Sri Durbe Pratigrihitwang. Touch it to Ganesh ji, carry to your forehead. Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. Now make 21 offerings. Om Gam Ganapati Namah Swaha. 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 Ganesha Bhagwan ki. Devotees and friends, take your laddu now. And you all pray now in your own words. These children here offering in front of the murti, you offer. If you have a dirt murti at home or in front of your coconut, it does not matter. You pray now. Om Brahmarpanang Brahma Havid Brahm Guno Brahmutam Brahm Eva Gantavyam Brahm Karma Samadina Om Tvariyang Vastu Govindang Tumiyam Eva Samarprahit Grihana Sanmukho Bhutva Prasidha Purushotama. Prem se bole Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. Offer one by one here now. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Narayanaye Namo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapati Namah Swaha. 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 Ganesha Bhagwan ki. Take water now and circle it 3 times. Om Mandakini Astu Yarvari Sarvapapharam Divyam Tatidam Kali Pratam Samyajyam Achmanyang Twang Twaya. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Mandakini Astu Yarvari Sarvapapharam Divyam Tatidam Kali Pratam Samyajyam Achmanyang Twang Twaya. Put on the mala. I didn't know they have one. Om Malikadhi Shugandhini Malay Neva Prabhu Maya Hirtani Puja Irtang Sri Pushpani Pratigrihitwang. Prem Sabale Sri Ganesha Bhagwan ki Jai. Take flowers in all your hands and pray now. Whatever wish, desire you all have now, make it there. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Tat Sat. Om Sri Krishna Krishna Segay Pavitya Mama Sevidya Pradve Sri Dvala Kalipati Saptame Vaivas Manwantar Kalipatam Charini Jambu Dvipe West Indies Kandayar Vatarike Desh Antargati Trinidad Desh. Her call where you living. ओम श्री क्षेत्र ग्रामे भौतवतारित पारही नमो नारायणाय नमो नमः। ओम श्री गणेश पूजन संकल्प कर्महं वृक्षे एकदंताय विद्महे वक्रतुंडाय धीमहि तन्नो दंति प्रचोदयात्। गणेश भगवान की जय। Offer there. Devotees and friends who are following us online, we will do the Havan a little bit after the Arti. I will go live with it so that you can follow at home. You are at home. We have Pandit who have to go home here, so yeah. So now you light your diyas while and then Om Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradayane Mantra Murti Sada Devi Sri Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Sarvaje Sarva Varde Sarva Dushta Bhayam Kari Sarva Dukha Hari Devi Sri Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Sarvaje Sarva Varde Sarva Dushta Bhayam Kari Sarva Dukha Hari Devi Sri Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Sarvaje Sarva Varde Sarva Dushta Bhayam Kari Sarva Dukha Hari Devi Sri Mahalakshmi Namostute. Hari Om Tat Sat. प्रेम से बोले श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम हरि ओम तत्सत। ओम सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्रा मूर्ति सदा देवी श्री महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। ओम सर्वाजे सर्वा वरदे सर्वा दुष्ट भयम करी सर्वा दुख हरि देवी श्री महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। ओम सर्वाजे सर्वा वरदे सर्वा दुष्ट भयम करी सर्वा दुख हरि देवी श्री महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। प्रेम से बोले श्री महालक्ष्मी माता की जय। Onela child, come take your coconut in your hand now. So devotees and friends who are following us, please take your coconut into your hands at this time. ओम श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण सज्ञाय विद्य मम से विद्य और प्रद्वेषी बाल कलिपते सप्तमे वैवस मनवंतर कलिपटम चरणे जम्बू द्वीपे वेस्ट इंडीज कंदे आर्यवत आर्य देश अंतर्गत ट्रिनिडाद देश। हरि ओम तत्सत for those who in America देश and the place that you live now. ओम श्री क्षेत्र ग्रामे भावतवतारित पारही नमो नारायणाय नमो नमः। Your name नामयहम whatever wish you have. ओम श्री दैहिक दैविक भौतिक तपात्रयम निर्वमर्त्या देवी ग्रहारि मुनि माधवा। ओम श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। So devotees and friends, we now commence. Go now to crack the coconut there. All please stand. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेव। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
लड्डुअन का भोग लागे संत कर सेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा
जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता हरो जय
गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा
माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
एक दंत धायवंती चार भुजधारी एक दंत धायवंती चार भुजधारी मस्तक सिंदूर सोहे मुसकी ये सवारी
जय गणेश जय गणेश
जय गणेश देवा
माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
माता तेरो
पार्वती पिता महादेवा जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा और चढ़ावे फूल चढ़ावे और चढ़ावे मेवा भजन को पुत्र देकर निर्धन को माया
जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा माता तेरो पार्वती पिता महादेवा
गणपते नमो नमः सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाबा मोरिया
ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया ओम गं गणपतये नमो नमः श्री विनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बाप्पा मोरया गं गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया
गणपतये नमो नमः
सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम गणपतये नमो नमः सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः अष्टविनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया ओम मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओम मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओम मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया 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 रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया 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 रे मोरया 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 रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे अरे गणपति बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया गणपति बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया बप्पा बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया बप्पा बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया 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 रे मोरया 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 रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे मोरया 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 रे मोरया 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 रे ओ मोरया रे बप्पा 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 मोरया रे मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे
मोरया रे बप्पा मोरया रे
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शरणं गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया ओ मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बाबा मोरिया रे और गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया अरे बापा बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया अरे बापा बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया 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 रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया 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 रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ 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 मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे अरे गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया गणपति बापा मोरिया मंगल मूर्ति मोरिया मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे ओ 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 मोरिया रे बापा मोरिया रे गणेश शरणं Ganesha,
गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश
Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha,
गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश
Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, 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 Ganesh
शरणं शरणं गणेश
Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha,
गणेश शरणं शरणं गणेश
Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesh
शरणं शरणं गणेश
Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, Ganesh Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha, Sharanam Ganesha,
शरणं गणेश
Sharanam Ganesha,
शरणं गणेश
Sharanam Ganesha.
Ganesh Bhagwan ki. Put in the hands together, closing the physical eyes, we all pray. Om Sato Ma Satgamayam Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamayam Mrityorma Amritam Gamayam Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvamevam Tvameva Bandhu Cha Sika Tvamevam Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvamevam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Devam Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Ganesh Bhagwan ki Parvati Devi Mata ki Shankar Bhagwan ki Sanatan Dharma ki Om Sri Gurudevata ki Jai Jai Sitaram. All please have your seats. Onela, go light up your Havan down there. So devotees and friends who are following us online, light your Havan now. Somebody help her down there, please. Om Bhud Bhuvaswa. And those who are remaining in the Yajna Shala to make your offerings, I will be doing that for you pretty soon. So Pandit Jai will be ready to leave now. So you have puja tomorrow. Oh. Okay, so light your Havan now, please. Hari Om Bhur Bhuvaswa Om Bhur Bhuvaswa Dhauriva Bhumana Prithvi Bhavanimna Testayasta Prithvi Devaya Jani Pratishtaya Gani Ana Dhama Nada Dayadadhi Om Sri Again Devata Ki Jai. Find the different directions. Om Uddhabhuddha Swagani Prati Jagrahi Tvamishta Purati Sam Sriji Tamayam Cha Asmin Sadhasmin Aryuta Dhasmin Vishwe Devaya Jamnai Chai Sijata Again Devata Ki Jai. So all those who in the Yajna Shala have your offerings to make, please wait, don't go. If you have already made it, okay, you are free to go, collect your refreshments and go. But those who still have to do it, remain, I'll do it for you, for these people first. But let me just complete the Havan here. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Tat Sat Om Ayuntidmayatama Jat Vedase Nidyaswa Vardyaswa Chid Vardaya Chasman Praja Prashubi Brahma Varjase Anadhena Samidhaya Swaha. Hari Om Susumidhaya Sojase Gritanti Brahm Johotana Aganaye Jat Vedase Swaha Om Samidaya Ganim Dhuvasya Grite Dabhodaya Atiti Masmin Havya Johotana Swaha Om Sri Ganeshaya Nama Swaha Om Haring Haring Saraswati Nama Swaha Om Sri Guru Charan Kamle Bhyo Nama Swaha Om Sri Ramachandraya Nama Swaha Om Sri Keshavaya Nama Swaha Om Shani Rahu Ketu Aye Namah Swaha. Om Navagraha Devataye Namah Swaha. Ishta Devataye Namah Swaha. Now everybody. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namah Swaha. 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 Now, my dear friends, wherever you are, take water now, circle your havan. Om Mandakiniyastu Yarvari Sarva Papaharam Divyam Tatidam Kali Pratam Samyajyam Achmanyang Twangtwaya Agandevata Ki. So, my dear friends, if you have more people to perform the Havan, you will continue at your home. I have to continue here because people have to go far. Those in the Yajna Shala who wants, you know the mantra Gam Ganapati Namaha Swaha, offer 5 times there while I go down here now and make these offerings. Camille, just tell the old people down there. Andrew, tell them to come now. I will do the offering for them if they have to make offering.